frustrations obviously overflowing over the weekend, and sports not providing the escape that we all want from the real world, which is needed now more than ever. And it's just not happening here locally, and specifically not with football. It was a bad weekend. The results have gone final with nearly 3,000 votes in. Matthew Stafford got 6.7% of the vote. Matt Patricia got 50.1% of the vote. Bob Quinn, 14.3% of the vote. And Jim Harbaugh, 28.8% of the vote. And there were some comments that came with that we will get to. Did these results surprise you?
I guess in a sense, just because it's, my ranking for myself, I had kind of a 1A, 1B situation where I had Quinn, Patricia, Stafford, and Harbaugh. And there was, I think the separation was largest between Stafford and Harbaugh. So it was tough for me to come up with the first one out. Because I think both Quinn and Patricia are joined at the hip anyway, so you fire one, you're firing the other.
If I look at the responses when people say, "What about all the above?" This is a ranking that we're asking for. If somebody's asked to rank, let's say the teams in the top 25, the correct response is not, "Hey, they're all good." You know what, guys? They're all good. No, we're asking for like you to sort of quantify which one, is bothering you the most. As I looked at this and started thinking through it, Gator, I realized that I would base my ranking in large part based on, and just another talking point with this, and maybe it's a completely different question, but can any of these guys turn it around? That's another thing, right? Could any of these guys do anything? And of course, I built the case for all four of them.
Right.
But could any of them, change your mind and turn it around? Which is tough. I mean, these are all guys who are currently embattled or on the hot seat, or people just want to move on from, whatever the case may be. And it's maybe resolved in a matter of weeks. I don't know if that's the case with Stafford. Stafford is going to finish the season with Detroit. He's not, obviously we're past the trade deadline here, and he's not going to get released.
No.
So if you're he could be something that comes to a head in the offseason, but even then, it feels like it's most likely that if they do go out and address the quarterback and go get the next guy, then they will have a Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love type situation. Seems more likely. And by that, I mean a veteran that's still around and a young guy who's going to take the reins eventually. I'm not comparing, before the text misinterpret this as comparing Stafford to Aaron Rodgers.
Just having a mentor and apprentice, if you will.
Exactly. But as I look at these, maybe, like I said, another talking point is, can any of them turn it around?
Well, I don't think that my 1A or 1B can. I just don't see a path where Matt Patricia turns it around and, hey, all of a sudden Matt Patricia's a genius as a head football coach. I don't see it. I don't, and if I don't see Bob Quinn getting another chance as a general manager either. So that's out. Can Stafford do it? I think he has a chance to do it with another team, a team that's more ready-made to win. A team that if he goes to a team that it's a good football team and they just need a quarterback, they need to upgrade a quarterback, or maybe their quarterback suffers an injury and they're at the end of their career and would probably call it quits soon anyway. Like would Matthew Stafford, would he do well in New Orleans? I think he could do well in New Orleans. But they've got things set up there. Of course, not to upset the great Taysom Hill, but they've got Jameis Winston there already. There are other situations. Would Stafford do well in Tampa? I think Stafford could do well in Tampa with all the weapons that they have there. So there are other places he could go to in the very near future where he could turn it around. And as far as Jim Harbaugh is concerned, I made my case a little bit yesterday. He's finally going down the path that I want him to, which is to use a a young quarterback and take your lumps for a season and try to develop. But I think what's holding him back is that as a team and a program over the last several years is that they just haven't really developed their guys, period. It's not just the quarterback. I don't think they've gotten the most out of their recruits. They send all these guys to the pros, and yet they just haven't gotten over humps at the university. So I think you have to do a real hard look at the coaching staff and decide if these are the guys you want to continue to go to battle with each week.
All right, so 248-539-9797. Ticket text to the same number. I'm going to read some of the feedback that came in via Twitter. Kang, do you have anything to add to this before we get to it?
Yes, all of the above is not an answer, people. Please stop tweeting that and texting it in. We know they're all pretty bad. That's the reason why they're all on the list.
Yeah, it's a quantifying question for you. But here's some of the feedback.
I try to even capitalizing most.
I
Not
know,
that it even
dude.
mattered. You know what I mean?
I've-
capital M, capital O, capital S, capital T.
I've
it's all caps. Huh?
I've sent out many a poll where people like the great Gator. It's not. This isn't a question. I feel like people expect. The question is which quarterback would you rather have right now? Would it be David Blau? Would it be Aaron Rodgers? Would it be Chase Daniel? Or would it be
Jed Knopf?
Yeah. Oh, Aaron Rodgers, guys. Thanks. No, we try and make it tough. We try and make the perfect poll question is when you have 25% for each answer, right? And you're trying to make it a difficult question to answer. But yes, we get inundated with what about all the above, guys? But here's some of the feedback we've gotten from Tyrone. Harbaugh at least has been decent, but not beating OSU. Patricia's never won a thing. Another one here. I'm done with Bob Quinn. I let the next GM decide Stafford's fate. That's from Pat. From Blue Wave, True Rank, Patricia, Harbaugh, Quinn, and Stafford. From the Golf God, my list, number one being most frustrated with. Matt Patricia, 1. Bob Quinn, 2. Jim Harbaugh, 3. Matt Stafford, 4. From Jake Ritlewski, Bob Quinn put together this team, and there's little talent. Drafting has been terrible, and the free agents have not panned out. 65-35. 65-36, not good enough yet. 12-27-1 now. Cool. Need to bring in Patricia guys, slow, big expatriates, but Quinn brought him in. A lot there.
What did he say, 65-36?
Yeah, that wasn't Caldwell's record. I think he's implying that was. I think Caldwell was like 9 games over 500, I believe.
Yeah, Caldwell's definitely better, but come on, let's not.
Yeah. Let me just make sure of that. But I think he's trying to reference what would be Caldwell's record. But Caldwell's record in Detroit was 36-28, so he was 8 games over, which seems a lot. I mean, of course, it is better.
In the history of winning percentages for a Detroit Lions head coach, that's stellar.